This is, of course, the third in the three-part series of financial literacy with Dawnette Palmore and NAWBO, brought to you to help you get your money game in order and help you get your business super successful in 2025 and beyond. I'm Linda Bishop. I am your Vice President of National Programs with NAWBO National, and I'm super excited to have you here today. Dawnette, I'm not going to waste any of our time. I'm going to hand it over to you. Today, I know that we are talking about our foundations of our business and how to get that foundation set for growth early on. And if you haven't done it, how to reset it, how to get it in place now. And Dawnette, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, it's going to be very packed. And I was like, I can't take any of this out. So I'm going to talk fast, but I also want to be interactive. Let me share my screen and then pop my chat up so I can see when you guys say something. Okay, there we go. All right. So, who's been to any of the other, any of this part series? Anybody's been to another workshop? Cool, everybody's new. Okay, well, my name is Dawnette Palmore, as Linda said, and I am a money coach, so I don't sell any insurance products or financial investments, none of that. I just help women to be empowered with their money by helping them gain control, clarity, and confidence with their money so they can run a thriving business and live a financially stress-free life. And the most important thing is without sacrificing what's important to us. I am a podcast host, so if you guys want to follow me, it's a podcast for women, by women. It's Your Business on Purpose. I am also your immediate past president of Orange County. I am the treasurer of NAWBO, California, and their first vice president, which means I'll be president in 2 years, basically. And I'm also on the PASC. So as I want to say this, I always want to say this is an interactive workshop. So we're going to do some work here, and please ask questions, interrupt me. If you want to type it in the chat, I have the chat up here, and Linda's also going to help me see that. And I'm going to ask questions. Please participate. Okay, so I want to start with a little icebreaker because it's going to be heavy, like I said today, and just get to know a little bit about you. So if you can quickly just share your name, your type of business, and maybe the biggest challenge that you're facing in setting up or managing business foundations. And you could type it in the chat or just unmute and talk it out. Go ahead. Is it Ben?
Badiwa.
I'm going to... Badiwa. Badiwa. Okay, I love that. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. I actually have quite a few things I'm involved in. In Nigeria, I have a learning center for children and adults with special needs. And I also coordinate the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, which is for the presidency. It's an activity we do for those entrepreneurs who are seeking investors. In the US, I have Latimer Consultancy, which does educational consultancy, film consultancy, and event management. And I just registered a nonprofit. I want to establish a learning center in Los Angeles for adults with special needs, so we can give them essential therapies that they need to function. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And then we have Alicia, who said she is not a business owner. She's a NAWBO ambassador with Merrill. Oh, and she's here to learn. Awesome. And even with Merrill Lynch, you are almost kind of your own business owner because you got to go chasing after your own money, right? And then Michelle is multitasking with a newborn right now, which we've all been there, done that, right? She's getting started and currently checking with her current employer if it's okay to start her business on the side and make sure her name is okay. Awesome. Andrea is a brand ambassador, getting her brand built and recognized. Fabulous. Sorry, it's probably Andre. Probably said that wrong. Sorry about that.
All right. Yes, it is Andre.
Okay. Francesca, are you able to share with us? Kelly is planning to start her own LLC in 2025. She's part-time, plan to do senior fitness and wellness program. I love that. I love that. Yes, she is Francesca, working on building a business operations consulting company where I can help SMEs. I am currently a full-time student and wanting to learn from other women entrepreneurs. Fabulous. And we have a physical therapist. Okay, fabulous. We got stuff all across the board. This is going to be perfect for all of you guys. I'm super excited. Okay, so this session is about empowering you with valuable knowledge and resources that you can directly apply to your business for success. So we got to start at the beginning, right? There's no other place to start. Again, no matter what stage you're in with your business, this is a great place to either start or even revisit. As Linda said, sometimes we didn't do things and we're kind of off a little bit and we're getting a little lumpy, but this is a great place to say, okay, where do I need to fill in the gaps and get all your ducks in the row? So business compliance. Alexandra, she provides innovative HR solutions and launched an HR agency powered by AI and HI. What is HI?
It stands for human intelligence. So it's an
Oh,
artificial intelligence tool, but underneath it's a human power driven answers to interacting with public.
fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Learning something new every day. Okay, so the first thing is registering your business, right? So this step is foundational and it varies depending on your business type and of course your geographical location, right? We have local, state, and federal types of business registrations. So she needs help getting the lumps out. Awesome. I love it. So depending on your city or county, you may need to register your business name and obtain a local business license. I know that that's something required here where I'm at in Southern Long Beach, California. You got to have all the registrations here. State registrations, most states require businesses to register with the state's Secretary of State or something similar like that. And this typically involves filing formation documents like articles of corporation if you're a corporation, or it would be called articles of organization if you're an LLC. And then, of course, we have federal, right? So if you plan to hire employees or operate across state lines, you're definitely going to need to register your business with the feds, I should say. And their registration is known as the Employer Identification Number, or an EIN, if you've ever heard that term before, which I'm sure you have. And this is really an essential number for tax purposes and hiring employees. So we want to make sure that we register correctly at all levels because, ladies, we want to avoid fines and we want to make sure our business is running as smooth as possible. We don't want any interruptions or them to say, you got to stop because you don't have this. Okay, so then we have license and permits, right? These are also very industry specific and location specific. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that word. But so if you're in the food industry, we know you have to have health permits, right? Or you might have to have inspections depending on how you're preparing your food or where you're preparing your food, where you're serving it. All these things can take into play. If you're a professional service like accounting or legal services, you may need specific professional licenses, right? So you got to make sure you're gonna hear me talk a lot about wise counsel. So you want to make sure you have wise counsel around you to make sure that you're making informed decisions about what is for your business and what is not. Location specific, different again. It depends on the city and the state having various requirements. So again, it's crucial to check with your government or your legal advisor and ensure that you have all these necessary permits and licenses. We know if we don't have this, proper permits or licenses, one, it can lead to hefty fines and it can even cost us our business, meaning they can shut us down. So we want to make sure that we're doing our homework, and again, have that wise counsel around you. And these are really just people who are experts in things that we're not, because I don't want to be an expert in anything, and I'm sure that you don't, because none of us have time to. And we're going to talk about towards the end of this more about what kind of wise counsel you need to have around you. Any questions about that? Cool. Okay. Okay, our favorite topic, taxes. Okay, we have to understand our tax obligation for our business, right? Because it's very crucial in compliance. And some of this is going to depend again on how you have your business structured, which we're going to get to in a few minutes about different business entities. The EIN number, or that employer identification number, is basically a social security number for our business. You know, just like we are, we're a number to the government. That's how they keep track of the people. They assign us a number. Same with our business. They assign us a number. So it is required for most businesses, especially, again, if you have employees or you operate a corporation or partnership, you do have to have those. If you sell taxable goods or services and you're collecting sales tax, you have to actually send that into the government, and you have to fill out this paperwork. And you want to make sure it's perfect and on time, because again, you'll incur fees and could get in trouble if you're not doing that. So we want to make sure that we have knowledge about what our location requires about that. And then, of course, quarterly tax payments, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. These are basically estimated tax payments that you make on a quarterly basis, and it helps you avoid penalties at the end of the year by paying taxes as you earn income throughout the year. You can also do this by running a payroll. So depending on how you have your business entity set up, again, will depend on whether you're doing quarterly tax payments or you're running a payroll. And again, this is something you need wise counsel to guide you with on what's going to be perfect for you. And of course, we want to stay on top of our taxes, because what happens if we don't? We end up paying interest and penalties, and we don't want any of that stuff happening. It's going to get in the way of us being financially healthy. So we want to make sure that we have as much knowledge as possible. Not that we have to know everything about all of it, but we just need like an outline, right? And then we get the experts to fill in the gaps to help us understand and stay in compliance. Contracts and agreements. Okay, these are so vital for protecting our business interests and ensuring clear agreements with clients and vendors and partners. It's also going to save us a ton of headaches and misunderstandings. So we have client agreements, right? This is going to define the scope of work that we're doing with them or for them, payment terms, deadlines, and deliverables, right? So that everybody is clear on what's expected from each other. We have vendor contracts, ensuring you have clear terms regarding services, payments, and responsibilities. And then service terms. This is important too, because it's going to outline our policies, such as things like cancellations, right? Refunds and confidentiality agreements. I see this come up a lot on, I have an Airbnb, and people on the page are like, they want to do this, but here's my policy. Okay, so stick to your policy. This is what the policy says. That's why it's in place. They've agreed to it. There's no discrepancy on what it says. Like, it's clear. So you just go back to that. And this helps, right? It's like, okay, well, this is what it says. My terms are. And so making sure that we have solid contracts in place save us from potential disputes, and provide a clear framework for our business relationships, right? So I have seen this happen with some clients of mine. They did not heed my recommendation and make an agreement. They went into business with each other, and one of them was expecting certain things from one of the partners, and the other partner was like, no, that's not what I agreed to. And they ended up splitting their business partnership, and all because they didn't have an agreement like clear, like here is what is expected. And I mean, these agreements can get into some deep stuff, right? Like what happens if I die, all this stuff. So again, wise counsel. Has anybody else had any experience with an issue because they didn't have a written agreement or contract?
Hello, I'm Alexandra.
Yes.
So I don't think that I did have a problem with agreements or contract, but I'm going through that process right now with so we're, you know, with the tool that we have and the agreements to the client. So initially when I sold the first one, I created my own contract, you know, based on
Nice.
other contract of other software companies. And at the third one, when I had the money, now I pay an attorney, and I can see the difference between, you know, having that contract that I created and protection of the company. And because it's an innovation and it's a tool that it doesn't have a comparison. So I think I would recommend to have an attorney review your agreements, because it's crucial into understanding what your product is, what your liability is, where do you stop your liability, where the client stay the liability. Also because in my case, I'm insuring the agent, the HR agent, and the contract and the agreement did make the insurance be clear into what I needed to get my insurance for. So highly recommend an attorney.
Yes, yes. And sometimes you can also write it and, you know, do some research and then have them look at it and just pay for their time to do that and make, if you don't have the money to pay for them to write it all up. So thank you. Great. That is amazing. Yes, super important. Okay. Any questions about contracts and agreements?
Hi there. I just wanted to share. Hi, Alex. It's good to see you.
Yes,
Good to
please.
see everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Erika, and I'm a psychologist and coach. And what resonated for me is a client agreement, because as a psychologist, I can't not, like, when I'm coaching, I can't turn that part off, but it's a very different process and a very different outcome. And the service is different in a way, even though I'm the same person, than if I were doing therapy, especially if I'm billing insurance, but even if I'm not. So the agreements have to be different, even though I'm the same person and the services themselves are different, but there's enough overlap where sort of ethically and clinically, we want to be very clear on, you know, are we in a therapeutic relationship versus a coaching relationship, and what is expected and what isn't. So
I love that. Okay.
yeah, I thought that was really
That's
interesting.
great. Awesome. Anybody else? Alicia is saying, what kind of attorney helps draft these client agreement contracts? How much can one expect to pay an attorney? Alexandra, can you chime in on that since you've had experience with it?
Yeah, so depending of what type of contract, in my case, it's a product, so I got an attorney for product and software. But I found, you know, I can, whomever it was, you know, I would put my email here and I can send you a couple of referrals. I know one person in New Jersey, and she just charged like less than $300 a month, and then help you with all your agreements. And then the one I have, you know, he will work with you as a startup. So both of them, they're great. The one that I'm using is because product and software, but the other attorney, she's more general for all products.
Awesome. Okay. So it's going to be dependent upon what it is you're trying to get an agreement for. So making sure that they know the ins and outs of that industry. Fabulous. Next is going to be intellectual property, which kind of goes with what Alexandra is having drafted up as well. And so really, we just want to be, you know, this is about equipping you to make sure that you guys have the knowledge to get the right people around you. So we have intellectual property, right? So that means to protect our brand and creations. And it's essential for maintaining our business's unique identity and competitive edge, right? Yes, there are IP lawyers that specialize. Yes, there are. Yes, there is a few of them in NAWBO. Yes, Linda, thank you. Make sure you look for all these attorneys within our organization. That is fabulous. So with intellectual property, I hear a lot of content creators talk all the time about how people are actually buying their courses, stealing it, and then getting a refund for the course. So it is crazy what's going on out there. So try to protect yourself as much as you can. So under intellectual property, we have trademarks, right? So that's going to protect our business name, our logo, or any slogans that you use. It basically prevents people from using similar marks that could confuse your customers. I know Dave Ramsey has financial freedom he's actually trademarked, or no, financial peace. He's trademarked financial peace. I don't know how he did that, but he did. So there is a lady I know that had to actually rebrand her entire business because another company stole her stuff, but they did the legal work and they had it all legally branded and trademarked. So she actually was the one that had to redo her business because of that. We have copyrights that protects our original works of authorship, such as like written content, graphics, software. And copyrights give us exclusive rights to use and distribute our own creations. And then we have patents. So if you've developed a unique product or process, a patent can protect your invention from being made, used, or sold by others without your permission. And again, wise counsel, right? So making sure Linda's saying NAWBO partners with the Department of Patents and Trademarks. They can help you learn more. Oh, good, free of charge. Oh, that is wonderful to know. How do you make sure your business name is unique enough? What do you mean by that? Meaning like making sure it's not going to come close to anybody else's. I know that when you do like a business registration, like with your state or with the feds, you have to do a fictitious name statement. So you have to see if that name is already taken. You can also Google and see if anybody comes close to it, because I know that can be a problem with Instagram too, right? Somebody takes the name you have and then you have to do something else. So if you have a business name, idea, anything, I would go get the website right away and get the Instagram right away. And even TikTok and, try to get all the social media things right away so nobody can get that, because people can search to see that you're creating a business or you have an idea. They'll go purchase the websites and then sell it to you for like crazy amounts of money. So that's another way you can protect yourself with that as well. And get the email. So IP, securing our IP ensures us that our hard work and creativity are really safeguarded, right? Allowing us to build and grow with confidence and not having to be afraid of what's going to happen. So is there any legal area here that maybe you're uncertain about in your business, so that you need to say, I need to actually look into this and get an attorney?
Hello again, me. I think I'm going through right now the trademark. So
Okay.
my tool initial name was HR Genie, and I discovered that HR Genie already was a product and a company here in Silicon Valley. So quickly I had to change to HR Samurai, and I kind of want to know, I've been, I was told by 2 attorneys that it's okay to wait for, a year or so on your trademark, but you have to put like the initials TM next to your name, and that might help. But I don't know if anybody else has any experience with trademarks. How does it work?
Yeah. This is why we got to have wise counsel, right? To help us understand how all of it works. And unfortunately, I don't even know if there's anything we can really do when it comes to people doing it from, outside of our country, because we can't really go after people in other countries, but we can at least protect ourselves here as much as possible. And again, Linda put in there a great resource that's free to help you guys get more information about this particular topic. Okay, so let's talk about business structures, right? So these are we talked about pretty much compliance and foundations of compliance. And I do find that sometimes not just my clients, but a lot of solopreneurs don't have anything set up, and most are running everything through one account, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. But before we dive into this topic, let's talk a little about why choosing the right business structure is so important. So your business structure determines your legal and tax obligations, right? So we're talking about entities, how you are registered with the government, and it influences your ability to raise capital depending on how you have that set up as well. So it's the foundation upon which your business operates. So making an informed decision or informed choice is key to long-term success. So I do want to make this clarification. I am not an attorney and I'm not a tax professional. All of this is for your guys' educational only. So that's why I keep saying we got to get these we got to get these wise counsel around us so that we can make sure we're making very wise decisions and informed decisions. So there is basically 5 types of structures. We have sole proprietorship, partnership, LLCs, also known as limited liability companies. And then there's 2 types of corporations, an S Corp and a C Corp. So I'm just going to touch briefly on what each one is and just kind of give you a brief overview because it can get deeper. First, we have sole proprietorship. This is the simplest and most common structure, especially for solopreneurs. And this is a good way to start, but my recommendation would be not to stay here. So the definition is a business owned and operated by one person with no distinction between the business and the owner. So the pros is that it's simple, it's low cost, it's easy to set up with minimal paperwork and low startup cost. You make all the decisions and have full control of your business. However, the business income is reported on your personal tax return. Yes, it simplifies the tax process, but it also puts everything on you personally. And there is no legal protection against you there's no legal protection against you personally with this type of setup. We have partnerships. This structure involves 2 or more people sharing ownership of the business. The legal definition is a business owned by 2 or more individuals who shares profits, losses, and responsibilities. So the nice thing is that the workload and decision-making are shared among the partners, right? You also have partners that bring different skill types, different skill sets, expertise, and resources to the business. And similar to sole proprietorship, profits are passed through to partners' personal tax returns. So basically that means anything that is not a business deduction, you're gonna be passed on to your personal taxes. So this also has unlimited personal liability. So like the sole proprietorship, partners are personally liable for the business debts and obligations. So you don't have that legal protection as you do if you were going to be in the other business entities we're going to talk about. There is potential for conflict, right? When you have more than one person in the room, you probably might have some conflict. So you can have disagreements between your partners, which can impact the business. So that's why having agreements, contracts, everything outlined in the partnership is a big deal. I met a gentleman who went into partnership with his brother, and he's trying to get his money out because the brother wants to do nothing legally, and he wouldn't sign any agreements or anything. And I don't know why he still went in, but he did. And now he's, reaping the consequences of that. So again, I told you guys about the clients I had that ended up starting a business together and fighting because of lack of clear communication. You do share the profits, right? it's a shared partnership, so that means you share everything. You share the goods and the bads. So it could reduce your individual earnings. Is anybody here in a partnership or have had to manage some issue with being in a partnership? Awesome. Okay. Let's cover the next one is the limited liability company or the LLC. So this structure you have the element of both of a sole proprietor and the corporation. So this is a hybrid structure that offers the liability protection of a corporation without the tax benefits and flexibility of a partnership. The good things is you have limited liability protection, right? So the owners or the members, as they're called, are typically not personally liable for business debts and liabilities. You have some tax flexibility. You can choose to be actually taxed as a sole proprietor, a partnership, an S Corp, or a C Corp. And then it's less rigid operational requirements compared to corporations. The cons are that it's a higher startup cost. You have some more paperwork, fees, of course, right? More paperwork, more fees. I'm not sure how that plays in together, but it does. And then, of course, it varies by state. So the rules and regulations can differ significantly depending on, again, your geographical location. Is anybody set up as a LLC in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Okay. 5. Dana, did you want to say something? You're unmuted, just so you know.
Thank you. I wasn't thinking, so I didn't mean that.
No
Thank you.
worries. You're welcome. I have an LLC and a nonprofit. Okay, awesome. Okay, then we have our two types of corporations, the S Corp and the C Corp. So the legal definition is corporations are legal entities separate from their owners. So that offers strong liability protection and the ability to raise capital through stock. I have an LLC and a C Corp. Okay, awesome. Do you have an LLC that's run as a C Corp or you have both? Two separate businesses. Okay, so an S Corp. The pros is that it's a pass-through taxation, meaning income is passed through the shareholder's personal tax returns, which avoids double taxation. Then we have the limited liability protection. So shareholders are not personally liable for business debts. And it's easier to raise capital through the sale of stocks. So you have those stocks and then you can sell those, which means you'll have more owners, right? The strict requirements limit, you can only have 100 shareholders and all of the shareholders must be US citizens or legal residents. C Corps, so unlimited growth potential. You can have unlimited number of shareholders, which is ideal for like large businesses looking to raise sustainable capital. It attracts investors. So it's a preferred structure for venture capital and institutional investors. Also tax benefits, potential for lower corporate tax rates and benefits like stock options. So the cons are that it could be a double taxation. So profits are taxed at corporate level. And then again, the shareholders their dividends are taxed as well. You do have heavier administration requirements and ongoing compliance costs. So of course, with, as they say, the more responsibility, the more accountability that you have to have, right? The more that's required of you. And then the complex setup, it's more paperwork and higher cost to establish and maintain, right? Because just because we have these set up, we also have to remember that there's maintenance, right? We have to continue to, here in California, I have a S Corp and I have to pay a corporation tax every single year. I don't even know why it's called a tax, but it's basically a fee for just doing business in California. There's like a minimum $800 here. Does anybody, I know one person said they have a C Corp. Does anybody else have an S Corp or a C Corp here? You can also use the little raise your hand feature if you guys want to do that. Trying to go through and see if I see anything. Interesting. I cannot believe there's no other S Corp in here. I'm the only one. One thing I love about my S Corp too is that I can actually build businesses under it. So I build DBAs under it and I get the protection of the corporation for all the businesses. So there's a lot of perks to different of these. And this is why, again, having somebody that is an expert in this to help you make the right choice for the business, for your business and what you want to do with your business. Okay, this is kind of just a recap. If you guys want to shoot a take a picture or screenshot this is kind of just a recap. So if you're either a solopreneur or a sole proprietor, or you're thinking of changing the legal structure of your business, this is something to consider and to think about. Is there anybody here thinking about maybe changing the way that their business is set up legally? Okay. If you are and you don't want to say anything, that's fine. But, also think about how much legal liability protection you want. We always want to protect our personal assets from our business assets. So any way that you can do that, I would recommend doing that, because you don't want something to happen on your business side and then they take everything that you own on your personal side. And then also the tax preferences. So making sure that, do you know if you're in California, you need a state license if you're, that would depend, Erica, on what kind of industry you have. Obviously if you're a contractor, you're gonna have to have a state license for that, right? So it would depend on what it is.
Okay, I'll have to dig a little deeper because I have other colleagues who are saying they don't need one, but I think I need a better source.
Yeah, I would say that, again, like if you're a contractor and you're building stuff, yeah, you need a
Yeah,
state license.
No,
So
as a psychologist, yeah, for like a service, in the service industry.
okay, so it would also depend. So yeah, I would just do some more digging and
Yeah,
seeing.
I will.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so any questions about legal structure of business that I have here?
Sorry, could we share the psychologist, please, if I can have your contact? I'm an educational therapist. I may have some questions specifically to ask you, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I will share my
this.
info. This is great. Badiwa, am I saying it correct?
Badawa, yes.
Badawa.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank you.
I love it. This is what we're here for, connecting and helping each other. Okay. We got 20 minutes. Okay. I'm going to have to talk faster. Okay, let's move to financial foundations. Okay, so having robust financial systems in place not only provides us with clarity, but also empowers us to make informed and confident business decisions. Linda and I was talking about how money gives us options. Money gives us choices, right? And so making sure that our money that we're doing the right things with our money is going to get us there. So we want to understand why is this so important? Why do we need to know where our money is going, right? So imagine trying to navigate a new city without a map. I would probably just stop and cry. That's what's running our business without tracking our finances is going to be like, right? So financial clarity helps us to see exactly where every single dollar is coming from and where every single dollar is going. This insight is so crucial for identifying areas where we can, maybe cut cost. I think 1 or 2 workshops ago, we were talking about, going through and where are we paying for things that maybe we're not using anymore. We didn't even know we were paying for, things like that. And it also helps us to invest a little more wisely, right? It also helps us to plan for taxes. We talked about the different types of taxations for businesses. And we know that, taxes is not really fun for anybody to pay, but it's part of, being in this great country. But with a solid financial system, we can actually plan ahead, like with the quarterly taxes. You can actually be planning for that. So knowing income and expenses helps us to set aside the right amount for taxes and avoid last minute scrambles and unexpected liabilities. I don't know about you, but I used to be like, if you have a corporation, your taxes are due March 15th. So on March 14th, I was trying to get my QuickBooks done. So I don't know who else has done that, but that is enough to stress you out. So making sure that you're doing this consistently throughout the year helps. So it also helps us to forecast future expenses and ensures that we're preparing for upcoming costs. So whether it's reoccurring, which I talk about a lot, or it's a one-time thing, sometimes we have one big payment that we got to come up with. It also gives us a clear financial picture where we can make strategic decisions with confidence. So whether it's expanding our team, launching a new product or service, or entering a new market, knowing where our financial stand is going to allow us to assess risk and opportunities effectively. So we'll be able to walk into those with more confidence. And of course, having a strong financial foundation is like having a sturdy base for a business, right? It supports everything else that we're going to be doing in our business and ensures that our business can withstand challenges and seize opportunities. As we saw with with the whole pandemic in 2020, how a lot of businesses crumbled because they were not prepared. Nobody was prepared for that, but there are some things they could have done to be prepared for anything, right? So, unfortunately, things like that happens, and we can be prepared as much as we can. Okay, there are tools to manage our finances, right? We've all heard of them, and there's many options. And I'm just going to cover briefly what some of them are. Again, this is a great place for you to talk to a professional and an expert in this to see what is best for you and your business. So of course, we all know about QuickBooks, right? It is a highly recommended for small businesses. It does offer comprehensive features like expense tracking, invoicing, payroll, financial reporting. It is pretty user-friendly, and it's easy for non-accountants to manage their finances. So basically, it's easy for entrepreneurs to manage their own finances. I've been using QuickBooks for over 20 years. The desktop, now you put me on the online version and it's all a Greek to me, but I'm learning how to use it. But I do prefer desktop because I can have all my businesses under there in separate, whereas if you go online, you have to classify them differently, and my brain doesn't work that way. So know what you're getting into, QuickBooks Desktop Online, and the features that are going to be best for you. FreshBooks, this is good for freelancers and those who are need robust invoicing capabilities. It does allow you to create wonderful invoices, track time, manage expenses, and of course, accept online payments. It's good for service-based businesses looking to streamline your billing process. There's Xero. It's ideal for growing businesses that need more advanced features. It also offers scalable solutions with tools for inventory management, project tracking, multiple currency support, and it integrates with many business applications. So that's something you can look at as well. Is there one that anybody uses in particular? Michelle, that's a great question. So I'm going to start with this. QuickBooks is not cheap. I can tell you that right now. So I would say right now, my recommendation would be looking into Square or Stripe, because you can invoice through that. Unless you're going to, her question disappeared. Unless you're going to have like a ton of clients. But if it's just going to be like one client and then it's going to take some time to build, I would start with something like that, because it's they just take a percentage of the transaction fee. And I know Square is one of the lowest. So I would start with something like that. Okay, QuickBooks Online. Erica uses spreadsheet, Stripe, QuickBooks, awesome, QuickBooks, and a good bookkeeper. Yes, Venmo and PayPal can help as well. Yes. Although I would say with PayPal, if you are service-based, I would really recommend not using them. I have heard a ton of coaches, they hold their money and it's a nightmare. So if you're service-based, I would steer away from PayPal.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't had any issues with PayPal, but I do prefer Venmo, even though it's like the same company. So there may be some flexibility there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, but whatever. Yeah,
Weird,
I've
yeah.
just heard nightmare stories of PayPal holding people's money.
Yeah, I have not, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. That sounds, that does sound stressful for sure.
QuickBooks Pro Advisor, awesome. There you go. You have a contact right here if you need help with a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. And then zero. Okay, cool. They have a 95%. Okay, so if you guys are looking for zero, they are having a 95% off sell for the first 3 months right now. That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk even faster. Okay, so financial health, of course, is an important ingredient, right, in building a financial foundation, and of course, in having a good business structure. Again, because if that foundational structure is off, it's going to wiggle, wobble, and then it's just going to come tumbling down, right? So this is going to tell us a lot about things about our businesses and help us to make some decisions like, can we hire? Can we get a new equipment? Can we save? Like we talked about, it's going to give us options and help us to make decisions. So this also is crucial in being able to apply and get funding or grants, or even if you're going to sell your business one day. So you want to make sure all this stuff is building up and you have it in place. Because guess what? They're going to want to see the financials. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was going to buy another coaching business, and he only had 2 years of financials, and he was in business 10 years. And both of those years he was in the red. He only wanted 30,000 for it, but basically when I looked into it, it came down to that I was buying 5 iffy relationships. Yeah. So make sure you do a lot of research if you're going to buy a business, if you're thinking about that. And I gave him an offer. He obviously did not accept it, but that's what it came down to. NAWBO has some great discounts again, so also look at that. Yeah, NAWBO offers us a lot of great incentives, so discounts and things like that, and they partner with people for us. So make sure you're going there first. Okay, this is huge. This is huge. I see this so many. You need to be separating your business and personal finances. A lot of people are making this mistake and they are putting it all in one account. That is a no, no, no. You do not want to be audited by the government and the IRS, because all of that they're going to say is income for your personal, and none of it's a business write-off, and you are going to owe so much taxes. And guess what? You can't just shut the business down. Like if you're an S Corp or a corporation, you're not personally liable for debts. Why is my hand raised? I have no idea how I did that. Somehow my hand got raised. I just saw that. You're going to be liable for all those debts. So don't do it. Please separate. If you're not doing it, please, after this, go open a separate account, separate it. Don't do that anymore, please. So one, we want to keep these separate because, again, it's going to simplify bookkeeping, right? Your tax person's going to love you. I'm just spending money on building my biz. Okay, so no, the answer is no, Michelle. What I would recommend is to still open a bank account, and then you put in capital investments. So you're investing into your business. It's going to make tax filing easier, and it's going to protect your personal assets in case of an audit. So please open a dedicated business banking account and use it exclusively for your business transactions. And just like Michelle, if you're investing personal money, that's okay. You're going to have that as it's called capital. Each program calls it something different. So just find out what that accounting program is, and then says, and then just put it in there. Because it's okay to invest in I've invested money in my businesses, so we have to, right? It's just part of doing business. This is also going to help us to track, right? We want to make sure that we know what our business costs to run. We want to make sure we know what our lifestyle is costing to run. We want to also know what do we need to be paying ourselves out of our business? We're not going to know unless they're separated and we know what our personal expenses are, right? It's going to monitor cash flow and it's going to generate accurate financial reports. So it's also going to put you back in control of your money, because let me tell you, I did that for years and it's very chaotic. Transferring money back and forth, doing all this crazy stuff. It is so chaotic and stressful. I have a client right now, you guys don't even know the transferring nightmare they are doing. But we're going to put a stop to that. We're going to help them get back in control. Okay. I was going to show you a spreadsheet that I have, but I know that we're running short on time and I still have some slides that I wanted, some more information I want to share with you. And I hope I can go over if that's okay. And if you guys have to leave, that's okay. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. Open a business, I put 500 in to start my business and I used it for everything from seminars to parking whenever I spend. Yes, perfect. I love that. Awesome. Okay. So understanding the reports. Now there's a lot of reports, but there's 3 I'm going to say are going to be crucial for you to be able to read your finances. I'm sorry, your financials. Again, we don't have to be an expert in it, but we really need to know what all of our numbers mean so that we can have a better understanding of the health of our business. How many celebrities and athletes do we know that their managers stole everything from them because they were not in their business? So there's empowerment in being in our business. So you can ask your bookkeeper or accountant to send these to you. You can learn to teach yourself to do it. But these are the 3 reports I recommend that you learn how to read. And one is called the profit and loss, or the P&L, which you guys have probably heard of. This is what you're going to probably hand into your accountant at tax time. This tracks our revenue and expenses over a specific period of time, showing our net profit and or loss. It's essential for understanding our business's profitability and making informed financial decisions. So you can also see if your business has grown or if it's declined over a period of time, which I love in this example. This is from QuickBooks. You can see that they're looking at the current, but they're also looking at others. And you can do all these different things with the percentages change. Like you can run all kinds of reports with QuickBooks, and I'm sure with any of them. But this is kind of like, okay, here is what I've made. Here's what it's cost me. Look what I have left. Or I don't. Where do I need to make choices? Where do I need to make changes? Balance sheet. This sheet provides us a snapshot of where our business is financially in our financial position, right? So at a specific point in time. So it lists our assets, our liabilities, equity, and it helps us to assess our business's overall health and stability. So again, you can find out, also compare from year to year or quarter to quarter. These programs do a lot of cool things. And then we have the cash flow statement. So this report tracks the cash flow in and out of our business. It highlights how well we manage our cash to meet our obligations and to invest in growth. So it is a crucial tool for ensuring our business remains liquid and can handle unexpected expenses. So by implementing these practices and understanding how to read your financial reports, you'll establish a real financial foundation that supports your business growth and sustainability. And it's just so empowering for us to be able to know where we're at financially, where our business stands, so that we can, again, make those choices and make those decisions with confidence. Okay, so we do have an activity, but I'm going to skip this because I know that we're short on time. Okay, operational processes. We've covered legal stuff that we need to think about, the types of business entities we want. Now, let's think about trying to run a marathon without a training plan. Like, we're probably going to die. I know I had to train for a year to run a Spartan. Like, I trained a whole year and it was only 7 miles. So I would die if I did not plan for it. I would not have been able to endure that at all. So, running our business without effective systems can also lead to confusion, wasted time, and missed opportunities. So this is going to, again, it's effective processes streamline your daily tasks, right? Allowing to focus on what truly matters and growing our business and serving our clients. It's going to reduce overwhelm because we're going to, everything's going to be organized and predictable. People are going to know how to manage each department or whatever task we give them effectively. Okay, time management is huge as entrepreneurs. So managing our time effectively is crucial in maintaining productivity and burnout, right? Because that can happen a lot. So quickly, we have tools like Asana, Trello, ClickUp, Google Calendar. I use Google Calendar. Asana is great for project management and teams collaboration. Trello is great for systems like card-based. It's a card-based systems. You can visualize it. It can show you how, like, if you have a VA, you could say, here's how this needs to happen, and it could all be in there. So if you switch VAs, it's a seamless process. ClickUp is a tool that combines project management, document sharing, and goal tracking in one platform. So again, you want to do some research and figure out which one of these is going to be best for your business and what you need it to do. It also, if we have these systems and processes, it's going to make things smoother, like client onboarding, right? So we can create templates for client agreements, welcome emails, onboarding checklists, to make sure that we've covered everything, we don't miss stuff. Because how many times have you guys like onboarded someone and then you're like, shoot, I missed this, I missed that, or I forgot to send them this. So of course we have to make those mistakes so we know how to fix it, but this is going to really help you streamline your process so nothing is missed. Templates are great, right? It's a plug and play type of thing. Automating our workflow, things like MailChimp or HubSpot. I use Kajabi, which I could do all kinds of things with, which I love. So it's really helps us to follow up as well on our communication and keep us streamlined in that process as well. Because if the smoother that the onboarding is, the more likely that our client's going to see the value that we bring to them, right? Because who wants to work with someone that's chaotic? You're going to be like, oh no, this is not going to work out at all. Thank you, Alexandra, for being with us. I'm trying to wrap this up as quick as I can. Streamlining our invoicing and payments. We talked about, QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Stripe, all these different things you can use to streamline the invoices that you could send them out, create the invoice, send it out, and it'll also collect payment for us, which makes things much easier. Same with accounting tools and payments as well. Okay, so standard operating procedures or SOPs. These are detailed written instructions to achieve uniformity. One of those words I can't say. To achieve formity, like uniformity. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for in performing specific instructions, almost like onboarding, right? It ensures that tasks are performed the same way every time, maintaining quality and efficiency. How many people in their chapter, when you get onboarded by the previous person, like there's nothing to look at? You need, like, they're like, what do we do? I don't know what, I know. You're like, yes. What do I do? What am I supposed to do? What are my responsibilities? I didn't know. So this is why these things are important. It's even deeper than onboarding, but it's actually the procedures for operating each task in business. So having training, simplifies the onboarding process. Videos, you could do videos, right? NAWBO has a lot of onboarding videos that we can go watch, and it provides clear guidelines on how to perform their duties. And it's less time that you have to spend with somebody. You could just say, here, go watch the video. And let me know if you have any questions. Scalability, oh my gosh. If we're doing everything in our business all the time, we cannot scale. So this is why it's important to put all these different things, even though you're like, I'm just starting, but to start thinking about what needs to be implemented and how, and writing these things down now before you get big is going to be a lot simpler and help you. So it's going to make it easier to scale your business because everything is ready to go and you could just plug and play. Okay, we're going to skip the activity because I know we're trying to wrap this up. Okay, wise counsel was something I wanted to really go over talking about because we need to have professionals around us, experts around us, because again, we don't want to be an expert in everything. So my rubber band just broke. Okay. That is, you guys might see my hair fall. Live TV. Okay. These people have expertise in what we don't, right? So these could be lawyers, attorneys that we've talked about, accountants, tax professionals, bookkeepers, CPAs, coaches, life coaches, business coaches, money coaches, skill coaches, therapy coaches, whatever it is. Grab that wise counsel. Like one of your action items is going to be, who do I need to have around me? Who is my wise counsel? Who do I need to bring in? Okay. So I know that was a ton. I would love to hear if you guys could put in your most valuable takeaway from today. And as you're doing that, your next steps, I would say, listen to the replay because it was a lot. Think about where in your business do you need to take action. You can scan this QR code to connect with me. I didn't get to share the spreadsheet with you today, but you can get a copy of the spreadsheet and you can connect with my podcast. You can find all the stuff here with the QR code. Any questions? Hold on, I have a question. Who do you need around you? Look in the NAWBO chapters. Yes. Thank you for that reminder. Look around you, Linda. Who is already around you? Use them. Let's support each other and use each other. This is what NAWBO is all about and what we're here for. Thank you, Linda. You're going to send that to us. Thank you. I appreciate it, Alicia. And I'm going to get your guys's, can I take the screen sharing down now? Yes. I need information on nonprofits. Thank you, Andre. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate all of that. Linda, would you be able to grab those emails and send them to me? Okay,
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Any last questions before we go? I'm so grateful for you guys all being here. Thank you.
I just want to thank you as well. Great information, very educational for me. I'm going to actually start researching all those resources now for my new business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. I love it.
I'm interested in
what you're
learning
bringing.
more about resources for nonprofits. It shouldn't really be necessarily different from what you've shared, but there may be some that I'm not aware of. Are you planning on having another meeting set up like this?
I am in the works with NAWBO about something coming up. So Linda will put an announcement when that's up and ready.
Okay.
But the best thing also to do is to follow me. And I always, whenever I'm doing something, I put it out there.
Right.
If you want something specific, shoot me an email and I'll research it and do because as a money coach, I help entrepreneurs and
Right.
business owners. So help them build their business and make sure everything's set up right. So if I can help in any way, I'd be, like I say, if I don't have a workshop for it, I'll write one.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've got you no matter what. Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And thank you, Dawnette, one more time. Thank you so much. I am going to take this recording. We're going to, we'll get it all packaged up nice and neat. And everybody that has registered for any of the three, they're going to get all three recordings emailed to them. So watch your email from me and you will get all of the recordings. So you won't miss a thing.
Thank you so much.